So this is the design build studio that all the junior students have to take, and we are designing and building a vine structure. We have a lot of great shrubs and trees here on campus. We don't have a very good display of vines, so we've been asked to create a structure that would show off how vines grow and how they flower and what their habits are and things like that. The storm that we had created a lot of destruction, and so we're trying to rebuild some of the areas that were destroyed during that. And we also saw an opportunity to create something new and exciting, different, that would engage the students that come here for classes, as well as the local neighborhood that comes here almost every day to enjoy and to walk their dogs and things like that. So the approach has been to design something that is buildable within a month or so, and that they can wrap their hands around, knowing what they know now about materials, about wood and lumber and their characteristics. So for some people, it's the first time that they're using power tools and hand tools, and they're learning how to do that, and we want them to experience what it's like to build something that they've designed, because they're experiencing now what contractors will have to deal with when they're out in the real world. So it might change the way that they want to make drawings, how they want to design things, how they're thinking about how things are put together, how long they're going to last, and what the appropriate finishes and fasteners and things might be. So the design has sort of three levels, a lower level, a middle, and a high, and we're trying to get up as high as 12 feet so that the thing that we're constructing can be visible throughout the Arboretum area. And whenever we've designed flower show exhibits, I've always tried to get extra height so that people will see it from far away, and it gives them sort of a destination to travel to intrigue them a little bit. Well, we're one of the few schools in the country that has a design build program as part of the landscape architecture degree, and it, I think, gives them a hands-on experience, and not just in learning about the materials, but also learning how to work as a team, individually, taking on responsibilities and for purchasing materials, obtaining materials. All of those things are learning opportunities that we try to build upon. And like I said, being a unique experience for the students compared to other schools, they come away with a sense of accomplishment, I think, and being able to see their built work and walk through it. A lot of times in a design firm, you might design something this year and it won't be built for 4 or 5 or 6 years. You know, here they get to design something and build it the next month, and that gives you a lot of satisfaction, I think. Well, this time we're building outdoors, and so we know that it has to last a significant amount of time. So there are a number of sustainable elements in the design, but not as much as we've had in the past. For example, we have some snow fencing that we are going to repurpose, that we acquired from a farmer who had no more use for it, and so we bring it to a new use and a new form, doing something different now. We're going to have also some acoustic elements here to engage the other senses besides just sight, and obviously the smell of the flowers and things like that. So we're trying to engage all the senses, but in a way that's more responsible. We try to support local businesses when we purchase things and that kind of thing. So we're including some remnants of previous exhibits. The pavers on the ground that you'll see were made maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and they're seeing a new life. We've used them twice before, so we're trying to reuse those, but in a different orientation, in a different layout from what it was used in before. So that's kind of interesting, and so the students have to go out and document what's there, measure them, examine their characteristics, and then decide how many and where and in which way to use them so that it makes sense and adds to the aesthetic experience of this place. So we are aiming for completion on Earth Day, which is April 22nd, And our soft deadline, of course, is 2 days before that, and so I'll have a chance to walk through and check for, possible incompletions. But then we're going to open officially on April 22nd. So it's only about a 4-week process of construction from start to finish. We've spent a couple weeks designing it. Obviously, in January and February we could not be working outside, so we've had the opportunity to be outside now. And even now in the spring, weather's very variable. It was snowing one day and raining the next, and now it's going to be 70 today, so that's a nice day to be outside. But we want the students to also get the chance to get away from their Zoom environment and be outdoors working with each other, talking. And a lot of them I haven't seen maskless for months, and so recognizing them now without their masks on is like a challenge in itself. So but I think it's good for them to have that experience outdoors. So I think familiarity with tools is part of it, but it's mostly about methods of construction and about imagining spaces and how large they are or how small they are. A lot of people draw things on paper in class, in studio, and they don't really have a concept of how it is in real life. And so I've heard students saying, "Oh, that's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be," or "That's really not what I pictured," or "Oh, this is exactly what I pictured." So for every student, it's a different experience. But being able to build something and then examine it and walk through it and experience it yourself is something that you really cannot substitute for with drawings or even with computer models. It's just not the same as being in the environment yourself. So what we're hoping is that this project is going to be used by, like I said, classes in herbaceous plants and woody plants that will use it as part of the outdoor learning experience. Also, it benefits the community and the neighborhood because a lot of people come here to recreate. And we've also tried to recognize some of the contributions of John Collins, who built the original structure that was at this location many years ago. And so we've incorporated some of his legacy into what we're doing, but reimagining things, reinventing it in a way that we hope is respectful of that tradition.